So good morning, team, and a very warm welcome to this Triotech software training program team. My name is Abhishek. I'm an Oracle certified trainer, and I'm the official trainer for this training batch. This training batch is around Oracle Fusion Financials Cloud, right? We already had a session yesterday where we understood the overall concept of the ERP domain. Within ERP domain, what is Oracle? Oracle is the company who has developed this product. Oracle is an IT company. It's a US-based tech giant who's working actively in the development and deployment of the cloud solution here in terms of the ERP domain. And the name of the product that we have discussed yesterday is Oracle Fusion. And within Oracle Fusion, the key area that we are going to cover as a part of this training program is financials, Oracle Fusion financials. Okay? The main objective, specifically for those who have joined today only, who are not a part of yesterday's session, the main objective of this training program is how to land upon a high-paying job as a beginner without coding knowledge and without a non-IT background. So here are a few things that we need to understand. When I say how to land upon high-paying job as a beginner, so we're not targeting only the fresher students here, or this training program has not been designed only for the fresher students. This has been designed considering the knowledge and experience required for fresher students as well as the experienced students who have not worked before on ERP concept and is working somewhere else, and now they are ready to move to Oracle Fusion ERP. Or maybe we also have students here as a part of this batch who have worked with the previous versions of the Oracle, but who are new to the concept of Oracle Fusion Financial. And also we may have students here who have worked as an end user, but really not aware of the configuration part, solution designing and all, right? So that is where our main focus of this training program is to enhance the skill set to all the students as a fresher or as an experienced students in the field of Oracle Fusion Financial Cloud. And at the end, the objective is to land upon a high-paying job in this domain. Okay. Now, specifically highlighted here, no coding required. We're not going to discuss the coding because the majority of the students here do not have a technical background, and this is not a technical training. This is more on the functional side where we'll be learning on the configuration aspect of the Oracle Fusion application, how as per the business requirement we can configure the environment, we can build environment this application right from the scratch. What are the solution requirements, or how to think from the solution perspective in terms of the business requirements, right? So that is something where we'll be focusing on based on the configuration that we are going to team. We are also going to test various business processes and functionalities which are available in the application, right? So there we'll be discussing various scenarios, how these scenarios are handled in terms of real-time project execution, what are the challenges we face, what are the best practices which is being adopted by Oracle, which is suggested by Oracle in terms of various industry and region, right? So those things we'll be having discussion on, wherein will not be doing any kind of thing. Still, we'll be doing the configuration, testing, reporting, and everything. Okay. The training program is conducted by Triotech Software Training Program. We are an institute who is actively involved in imparting the training on cloud platform in terms of Oracle Fusion, and it's been already 2 decades where we are working on this technology. So before we were also imparting training on the previous versions of Oracle. Then we, as cloud is the latest available application, so now it's the cloud era. So that is where all our training programs are related to cloud. Now, moving next here, quick introduction about myself, especially for those who have joined today only. My name is Abhishek Kumar. I'm an Oracle Certified Implementation Specialist. I have overall experience of 12 plus year in Oracle Consulting. So during this tenure, I have extensively worked into the end-to-end implementation and support projects and various legislations. So I work for US-based projects, UK-based projects, Middle East, Singapore, Australia, and multiple other countries have worked as a part of the Oracle Consulting. So during this tenure, I worked with multiple organizations. I got an opportunity to work with Big Four, Deloitte, Oracle, EY, PwC, and multiple other companies, mid-sized companies I've worked with as a part of Oracle Consulting. And in terms of the training programs, so I've delivered more than 13 plus training, corporate training programs. So corporate training programs means uh, the end user of Oracle, those companies who have already implemented Oracle. So the training programs was conducted to train their employees how to use effectively Oracle Future Financials, right? So those things also we have conducted. Along with that, 20 plus training batch, regular batches just like yours, where the objective is to transition a student into an Oracle Fusion Financial Consultant. All right. Now, before moving ahead, let me quickly give you a heads up here, especially those who have joined today only. The my admin team is also connected here in this meeting, and they have shared the form of enrollments in the Zoom chat. So feel free to access the form through the Zoom chat. Any queries that you have, right? So that way you can use the Zoom chat platform to put your queries. At the end of this session, I'll be answering those questions along with my admin team, right? So as a part of the meeting notes, that is the session. Any questions related to product, training, career related queries, so feel free to ask during the session. Try to keep yourself on mute so that we can effectively cover the agenda of today's meeting. And anything that you have related to any topic or anything, then feel free to put it in the chat. So we'll pick it from there at the end of this session. And in terms of recording, as I've already mentioned, that this meeting is being recorded from our end, so there's no need for you to record this. We will be sharing this by uploading it on the Triotech training portal. Okay. Now, let's move ahead with today's agenda. So we have covered some major agenda in the yesterday's meeting, yesterday demo session, wherein we understood the concept of ERP, how Oracle fits in the concept of or domain of ERP, which product Oracle introduced, how it is different from the existing product that we have, right? So previously it was on premises or the previous versions were not on cloud. Now it is cloud based. So the companies really don't need to invest that much. So it is a subscription based service, right? So, uh, or we can say SaaS as a platform. SaaS is a concept for software as a service, right? So whatever is required by the business, they'll be identifying that, they'll be subscribing to that and only need to pay that. And later on, if they need anything additional, so that is also something they can subscribe directly from Oracle. Okay. Now, here we need to understand something. One is there is Oracle who has developed this product, who's providing this product on a subscription model and all. Right. There is an end user who's actually using this product. Maybe it's a banking industry, it's a hotel industry, it's a hospital industry, it's a education industry, right? Or any other financial institution, insurance companies and all, right? So hundreds of companies, government companies, private sector, public sector companies are there actively working in Oracle Fusion as their preferred part. Okay. Now we have Oracle, we have end users where we fit in between as an Oracle Fusion Financial Consultant. So that is something we need to understand as a part of today's agenda, right? So here we'll begin first with the training outcomes. So what exactly is expected out of this training program? What I can achieve once I complete successfully this training program, right? So that is something we need to understand here. Second is we'll speak about the work profiles. So exactly what kind of work profiles we can expect and where exactly we can expect that, right? So here there is something we have as an implementation companies, means which all companies are involved, where exactly we can look into an opportunity, not only in India, globally, what all companies are involved and also some examples will take it up here to understand this overall concept. Then in the second part of the session, right? So this is the first part where we'll finish this thing. And in the second part of session, we'll do a walkthrough of the application, right? So as of now, we understood the concept and all, right? But we haven't seen the application. So we'll do a quick walkthrough of the application. We'll see how the application looks like, how to access the application, how to enter the user credentials and all, how to do the basic navigation and what are the basic navigation components. All these things we are going to cover here as a part of the next topics which are available here. then followed by the question and answer round, where we'll be taking up the uh, questions that is being asked from your end or that is available in the chat. So we'll take it from there, and also at the end of the session, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions if you have any queries related to this training program. All right. So, team, let's begin with the scene. So, let's discuss the first topic. What are the training outcomes that I can expect as a part of this training? So here, what I've done is bifurcated into the two parts here. One is on the base of fresher students who are very new to this technology. Second one, experienced students who are also new to this technology, but they have already heard of this technology. They have already worked in the previous versions, or they are worked as an end user, so they would have end-to-end experience in terms of Oracle Fusion, right? So key outputs, right? These are some of the key outputs that we can derive here. So one is the product knowledge. So product knowledge means in terms of Oracle Fusion Financials, right? So the objective of this training program is not only to test the functionalities as an end user, but to focus upon the overall solutioning, right? That how, if I'm implementing a project, what are the key activities that I'll be taking into consideration, and what are the step-by-step process that I'll be executing it as a part of the overall implementation life cycle. So we have a terminology which is called implementation implementation life cycle. So basically, you'll not see that we have joined some project or for the implementation of Oracle Fusion Financials, and as joined, it will be done in 1 month or 2 months, right? It has a subsequent period of time it will take, depending upon the size of the business, depending upon the requirements that business gives us, right? So, on the basis of that, the overall project is divided into multiple stages, right? We'll study that in detail, that what are the key stages that are involved in the execution of the project, and as a financial consultant, what is your role in those individual stages? Going to be your inputs, and what is going to be the output expected out of the project stages? So that is something where we'll study that, and that is going to enhance your product knowledge, right? So it is not only going to be the project implementation life cycle, but individually how the modules of the product financial modules are being implemented. That is also something we are going to study here. Second point is secure a job in Oracle domain. So that is one of the core objective of this training program, to secure a job, high-paying job in the Oracle domain here. Third is upskill product knowledge. So this is very important, specifically as the program has been designed, keeping in mind that we are not only going to do the testing in terms of the functionality, we are also going to do the configuration. Those configurations will be related to end-to-end business scenarios, right? So we'll formulate the scenario. This is the scenario, how we are going to do the configuration. Based on the configuration, how the functionalities are working, if we want any change, where exactly we need to make changes in the configuration, so that accordingly the functionalities will be as per the business requirement, right? So there's a one-to-one correlation that will be setting up in terms of the configuration, in terms of the testing. So that is something which is going to help you to upskill your product knowledge. Then enhance subject knowledge. Enhance subject knowledge, we are not only focusing on the core modules of the Fusion Financial, we are also focusing on the security related aspects, some other aspect like how to configure the approval rules, how to bring security in terms of the Oracle Fusion, how to perform the admin related activities, right? So that is also going to help you a lot in terms of understanding the overall application from an admin point of view. Then learning about the end-to-end implementation cycle. So that is something we'll do. The training path or learning path is going to be based on the end-to-end implementation cycle only. So how we execute a project in real lifetime. So that is something the same approach we are going to follow here. So it is not going to be like, okay, we are going to pick up the modules and doing the configuration. We also need to understand that if we are directly working on a project, and we are implementing as a part of the implementation cycle, what are the end-to-end stages we are going to follow? So stage-wise only, we are going to do the configurations and implement the solution. Okay. Then last and not the least is prepare for certification. So this is also again an important point. So many of you might be aware of this part, that Oracle University. So as a part of Oracle, so there is Oracle University who conducts the certification exams on various modules, right? So various modules means various financial modules are also on the other subject area, procurement and human capital. So as we are looking into the financial part, many of you will also be going forward, will be doing the certifications, right? So is this training program is going to help you out in preparing for this certification? The answer is yes. And I'll tell you the reason for doing that, how as this training program is going to help you out in preparing for the certification. So before, how it used to work is the certification exam had a particular pattern which was 100% MCQ, right? So it was MCQ based certification exam pattern that was followed. But now it is not the same piece. Now it is the certification exam has been divided into two parts. One is the practical based approach, and another one is the MCQ. So still MCQ is there, but it's part of the full exam. And the practical based approach, where during the certification exams, you are being given certain case laws that as a consultant you are working and you have received this business requirements, and how you are going to configure the same into the application, right? So uh, that kind of pattern is going to be available going forward. So what happens is at that point of time, you'll be required to have that practical knowledge and experience of the product. So you can work on the certification exams, or you can attempt for the certification exams and clear it out, right? So that is where the certification exam is also being taken care as a part of the overall training program design. Okay. So these are some of the key outcomes that are there. Apart from that, there can be multiple other outcomes as a or advantages as part of this training program, which you may have in the course of training. Now, with this, let me move to the next part here, which is roles, right? So as of now, if we have talked about that globally, the opportunities are there, such as Google it out and you'll see Oracle Future Financial Consultant around, right? That is okay. But let's also understand in that, like, what kind of roles we can expect, right? Every time it's going to Oracle Fusion Financials, no, that roles can be further divided into multiple categories, right? So here, I have broadly classified the opportunities into these type of roles. One is as an implementation consultant. What is an implementation consultant? Implementation consultant for Oracle Fusion Financials means a consultant who is having the knowledge and experience in the overall implementation of the project. Project means implementing the Fusion application for any given business scenario. Okay. So you can become a part of the implementation team who is responsible for implementing the product for the end user company who are actually using Oracle. Then you can also work as a support consultant. Who are support consultants? So support consultant means once the product is being implemented, generally there are opportunities where you work as a support consultant to provide support in terms of Oracle Fusion Financial to the end user companies, right? So that is also where you can work as a support consultant. Now here, as of now, I'm just saying end user company, but let me also discuss these things, right? Because equal opportunities are available here also. So as of now, the terminology we are really aware of is end user company who actually use Oracle. But when we discuss this, you'll also be able to understand how we have equal opportunities in the vendor company and the consulting company. Number three, one of the recent profile is product testing consultant. So product testing consultant means if the implementation is done by some other team and you're working with the end user company to look into the product, whether it has been developed and designed as per the business requirements. So then and there you have the opportunity called product testing consultant who are responsible to test end-to-end system in terms of the design, whether it is as per the business requirement or not, any deviations are there, any changes are required, right? And fourth, last and not least, freelancers and contractors, one of the very renowned profile, especially specifically after the COVID time period, that many of the companies are also looking for the consultant to work as a freelancer or contractors or on a remote basis, right? So that is also something which is available nowadays globally. Okay. Now, as of now, we discuss only from the end user company point of view, but here equally you can see vendor company and consulting company also have these kind of roles. So what exactly I mean to say here? So for that, we need to take some example for the vendor company or consulting company and end user company. So vendor company means Oracle Corporation who has developed the product. So basically the product was developed by Oracle Corporation, but Oracle also have its or one of the branches or one of the verticals who are actively involved in the execution of the product, or who are actively involved in the implementation of the Oracle Fusion, right? So here, along with the vendor company, you can also find Oracle here as a part of the consulting company. So that is where in terms of the consulting, you may also have, you do have rules of implementation consultant, support consultant, testing consultant, freelancing contractor directly with the vendor companies, directly with Oracle, right? Then second one is consulting companies. Consulting companies are basically the partner companies, those companies who are in having partnership with Oracle in order to implement Oracle Fusion Financial. So these companies basically they have industry-wide experience in implementing the Oracle. They are aware on the best business practices. They are aware how the Oracle being implemented. They have their own implementation consulting team. They have their own support team, and they actively act as a middle layer between the vendor company and the end user company. Right. Now the question that may arise here: why end user company they themselves cannot implement Oracle? Maybe they'll have their own team and they'll implement Oracle. Possible, but this is something which is not an easy task, because the end user companies are really aware how their business works and all, but they are not someone who is having an expertise industry wide in implementing Oracle, right? So they may be aware of their business requirement. They may not be aware of the best business practices. They may not be aware what are the latest developments that has been done in Oracle. So that is where they need to be dependent on consulting or partner companies who are actively involved in this task to do the implementation and provide support to the Oracle implementation. Correct. So that is where you'll always see that between the vendor company and end user company, the consulting partner companies will always be there in order to implement Oracle. Now, do we have only the big names or big fours here? No. There are many companies who have partnered with Oracle. Uh, it may be a big company, it can be mid-sized company, it can be small-sized consulting company. There are many companies, not only in India, globally, there are multiple companies who are partnered with Oracle for the implementation of Oracle Fusion. Okay. So as we have multiple companies involved here, so again, we have the job opportunities here. We have a vendor company who is also implementing Oracle. So we have job opportunities here. We have end user companies. Some of the examples, some of the ground examples I'm giving you here, right? These are the actual users of the Oracle Fusion. And these are the end users, companies who are actually using. So equal opportunities are available here also in terms of the uh, implementation consultant, support consultant, product testing consultant, and freelancer, right? So when I say implementation consultant, that means they do implement for their own. Generally, they have a mid layer which is consulting company, but end user company also maintains their internal tech team who is responsible for implementation or getting the application implemented as per the business requirements, right? So the similar opportunities you'll be able to see the end user companies as well, along with the end user profile where you are working directly on Oracle as a product instead of working as a consultant, right? So that is also kind of opportunities which are involved here. So now if you look into the combinations here, if we look into the scope, it's a very wide scope of opportunities which are available globally. So not only in one country or one region, globally the opportunities are there in terms of Oracle Fusion Financial. Just Google it out and you'll be able to find the result that how renowned the profile of Oracle Fusion Financial is. Now, with this team, let's move next part. So hopefully you have an understanding now what is going to be my training outcomes, what kind of roles I can expect, where exactly I can expect the roles, right? So that is going to help you out in taking a decision that I should be a part of Oracle domain or not, right? So one of the very renowned profiles is there, as I explained, and very wide scope of opportunities are there globally. Now, with this, let's move to the second part of the session, wherein we should be having now an understanding, right? We have talked enough about the application and all. So how the application looks like, right? And what are the key basic navigations that we can have on the application. So that is something we'll be covering it here, right? So just give me a moment. I'll share my screen again. All right, here. So something very easy. How can you have a basic navigation of the application? So what you should be having? You should be having an effective an active URL. Should be having an active user ID and password. Right. That's it. We require. So here, let me do one thing. Go back to my browser. Can use any browser here. So I'm already signing into the application. Let me quickly sign out and then start right from the beginning. So generally, what happens is each and every business organization, they have a unique URL, right? So it is not going to be a common URL like Facebook, Amazon, and all those. Not that way. Individual business specific URLs will be there, right? Which will be owned by the business. Now, what happens is once the subscription is done, the unique URL is issued to the business. What business does is they copy the URL, put it in the browser, and they put the credentials, which is username and password. So let me enter the username and password for this and click on next, and it is going to take you on the signing page of the application. So this is the home page, or we call it as springboard or dashboard. We call it as dashboard, springboard, or home page of the application. Multiple icons are available left to right, top to bottom, available here. Based upon our utility, we'll explore what are the icons which are relevant for us. Okay. So first thing here, you see on the left hand side, you have something called vision. This is a icon or this is a logo of this application. Vision icon. Vision means Oracle logo. It's an Oracle demo application, and it always has this vision as the logo. Now, when business is using their own application, let's say Lance is using Oracle Fusion Financials, right? So whether Reliance will also be having vision, or they'll be having their own. So initially it will start with vision only. Later on, when as a part of the configuration, these logos can be replaced and it can be made as per the business requirement. Means business related logos can be applied here. So the screens can be personalized as per the business requirement in terms of the themes, in terms of the color themes, in terms of the fonts and everything. Right. So that is something doable. Generally, the admin team or the human capital management team is responsible for these kind of personalizations in the application. Now, what we have here is something that we need to understand. So there are different icons. Icons means different services or different modules access we have here, right? As of now, I can see multiple options, including the financial modules, general accounting, cash management, fixed assets, payables, receivables, all are there, including your supply chain management related options we have here, right? What is the reason why by default my user has these options? Because of the reason as an admin user, my user has all the access. That's why it is visible here. But it is not going to be the same case for your user account. Each and every user will be having only the required access of the functionality. It's not going to be the case that everyone is having a all kind of access. No, whatever is being required for that particular user in terms of the business execution or business process execution, only that access will be given to that particular user. Now let's consider this. This is an admin user for now. Okay. This is an admin user. Now what we are going to do, admin user generally creates additional user accounts so that they can be used for the purpose of doing configurations and doing testing. Okay. So how to manage those is something that we need to understand. So the first thing that I'm going to start here with is going to create an user account for you that you can use going forward. Okay, so how to do that? You need to scroll to the right hand side here, and there is something called tools, right? No need to remember the navigation as of multiple time we'll be accessing these pages and all. So gradually you'll be able to understand this navigation. You'll be able to recall and remember that, right? So as of now, I'm telling you here, go to tools, and here you have something called security console. Okay. Now you can click on tools, click on security console, and from there you can be able to create your user account. That is one option. Other option is if you see these three lines here on the top left, right? This is called navigator. So if I go to the navigator and scroll down, I also have tools here, and here also I have security console. What is the difference between this page and navigator page? This is a horizontal layout, right? Same thing which is available in the navigator, same thing is available here also. It's a horizontal layout, it's a vertical layout. That's the only difference. Otherwise, no difference as such. So if you are comfortable in the horizontal layout, navigate left to right from here to here. If you are comfortable in vertical layout, then you can go here. Again, same tools is there. Again, security console is there. One and the same thing, right? So you go security console from here, you go security console from here, one and same thing, exact. Okay. Now, first focus we are having an admin account. From the admin account, we are creating a user account. There might be a requirement initially when you are working, you started working on a project. So at that point of time, the admin user may ask you, if he's not really aware of that part, he may ask you that we need to create user account for you. Please help us in navigations about how I can create a user account for you. So easy thing, go to the security profile, click on the security profile here. And once you click on the security profile, there are multiple options available here. And second option is user. First option is roles. So we'll understand what is a role perspective also. First, we'll understand the user perspective. So just click on the users. And this is the placeholder where we can look into the any of the user account which is already created in the application. If I want to create a new user account, this is the option. So looking into the user account later on, we'll do. First, let's create a user account for us, right? So here, add user account I'll do. So very basic details is required here. So this is the form to create a user account. Now, if you see here, there are some of the name. So first name, last name, email, phone, username, password, confirm password, all these fields are there. Some of the fields having this single star mark, okay, or a strict mark. So what exactly this is? This means wherever in the application you have any field which has a single star mark, that means it's a required field. I can skip the first name, I can skip the email ID, I can skip the phone, but I cannot skip the username, last name. I cannot skip the username. I cannot skip the password. I cannot skip the confirm password. This is something that I need to mandatorily enter as an information here. Right. So let me create one account in my own name. Right. Okay. Right, so not required. And username. So what system has done here? By default, it has copied the first name dot last name as the user. If you are okay with that, you can have this way. Sometime a practice you can follow is you can have your email IDs as also as user ID. That is also fine. You can override this and have as per your convenience. So that is absolutely fine. System suggests first name dot last name can be overridden as per your request. Then password system is not suggested. This is browser based. Says, uh, but we'll override this. Okay, so now I have added my password, confirm the password should be matching here, and I have the user ID available here. Now, if I save and close this one, that means my user account is created now. Okay, so once I save and close this one, now here you see there is something called add role. So what exactly this add role option is? So basically, when you create your user account, so user account creation means ID password creation and all. But does it means that we'll be having access of all the required things like setups you can do using this account, or you can perform the front end functionalities using this account? Does it mean that? Answer is no. In Oracle Fusion, there is a concept which is called role-based security. Okay, role-based security means unless and until you have been assigned with a particular role, will not be able to access a particular page or particular function. Right? For example, let's say, let's say here we have these modules, right? So these modules are there: general ledger, accounts payable, account receivable, fixed asset, and cash management. Then we have something called, let's say, configuration related access. Configuration means setup related access. Okay. Now, here, what I have is I have multiple users. So, general ledger, let's say user A is responsible for doing GL related tasks or GL related uh, processes. Okay. User B is responsible for accounts payable, user C for accounts receivable, user D for fixed asset, user E for cash management. Now, Creation of user account is easy. I can directly go to security console, create a user account. That is easy. But how am I going to make sure that these users are going to have the access of the respective modules? So that is where we have something called roles. So GL will be having, general ledger will be having its own roles that we need to assign to the user account. Payable have its own roles, receivables, fixed asset cash management. Also for the setups, we have specific roles that we can assign to the user, and based on that, we'll be able to perform the setups, right? So for example, setups is required for Abhishek Kumar, right? So I need to assign the roles for setup to Abhishek Kumar. Also, this one, let me go back here. This page, user, the security console access, right? If I go back here, if I go back here, so this page access security console just here. Okay. So this is also a role-based thing. Means each and every user will not be having this unless and until the corresponding role has been assigned. Okay. Now let me show you that in the application. So let me copy this and let me put it here, the URL, and let's sign in using the new user account that we have created, which is called Abhishek Kumar. Okay. So enter the URL, enter the ID password. Okay, so I'm entering the user ID, entering the password, click on next, and it is going to allow me to sign in to the application. Let's see by default what are the options that I have. Okay. If you see here, in comparison to my admin user, let me bring back my admin user here. You see, admin user has left to right so many options available because the role has been assigned to this user. But here, Abhishek Kumar has only basic information. Tools, within tools, it doesn't have the user account doesn't have security console, nothing. Some other options are there, that is fine. Okay, some key basic options are there, nothing else. Here also, if you go here, only sign out option is there. But if you go with the admin user, you have a lot of options, including setups and all. Correct. So these are available. Why? What is the reason? The reason is the particular user doesn't have the required role for his user account. So someone needs to assign that role to his user account based upon what kind of access the particular user requires. Okay, so that is what something we are going to do with the help of role. Role-based security is there in the application. Just creation of user account is not going to give any kind of access. It is the user account plus the roles that are going to give the access. Okay, first thing, let's say Abhishek Kumar has signed in into the application. As a user, I have signed into the application. What are the key initial basic things that I should be checking as a part of this user? So here, click on this. The first thing that I'm going to check as an implementation. Now, let's step into the shoes of a consultant. Let's consider that we are working as an implementation consultant. And now we want to know the details, like what exactly is required. So first thing, I got my user account. That is fine. I'm checking some basic details about the application and all. Then I'll be requesting for roles. So those roles will be assigned using the other user account. Okay, to this user. Okay. So the first thing here that I'm going to do is look into the settings and actions here. Click on the this icon, the naming icon or AK Kumar here. Click on this sign out option is there, or you have something called about this application. So click on this one. You'll be able to see something like this here. Oracle Cloud Application version 26C 11.13.26.0.7.0. Okay. Now, generally, majority of the consultants they don't know what exactly this information is, but we should always be aware what exactly the information is, or this information is all about. So this is the version application, which current version the application is working on. This is going to be really helpful when you have started your implementation, and I'll tell you how. So first, let's try to break this information. So in order to break this information, let me go to my working notes here and let me show you something here. So in the 2010, the Oracle was introduced, and in 2011, it was released to the open world, global world that now you can subscribe for Oracle Fusion and all. Okay. Now, what happens here is in 2011, the first release was known as release one, two, then three, four, so on. So What is the frequency of this release? So Oracle has something which is called quarterly upgrade policy. Now we see it's a one software application, right? Just like we use mobile application, every now and then on a particular frequency, new upgraded versions are there. Any bugs are, any new options or functionalities are introduced, right? That kind of maintenance activity happens, right? Same way here also in Oracle, we have something called Oracle upgrade policy, and Oracle follows something called quarterly upgrade policy. Okay, quarterly means every quarter there is going to be a new upgrade. In the new upgrade, the whole application is upgraded in terms of fixing the bugs if there are any, bringing new functionality if any applicable, bringing the new product enhancements of product functionality. So those things are done, well taken care as a part of the product upgrade policy. Okay. The year definition. So as it is done on a quarterly basis. So which quarter we are following? April to March year we are following, Jan to December we are following, May, June we are following, right? So Oracle always follows a calendar which is Jan to December. So it starts with Jan, ends with December. Now, as we have a quarterly upgrade policy, so you can divide the quarter Jan to March 1, April to June 2, July to September 3, and October to December as 4. So there will be 4 upgrades every year. So what Oracle has done, quarter one is determined using A. Quarter 1 is A, quarter 2 B, quarter 3 is C, quarter 4 is D. Okay. Then what happens is, depending on the year, whenever these upgrades are done, so let's say 26 year, which means 2026 quarter A upgrade, 2026 B quarter second upgrade, 26 C is quarter third upgrade. So if you see, currently we are sitting in the month of August, we are sitting here. So the latest upgraded version of Oracle is going to be 26C. If you look into this one, this is clearly says this is 26C. Okay, which means that the latest upgraded version of Oracle is already here, which means it is the latest upgrade version. Now, how it is going to be helpful for you is whenever you start any implementation, always do check which version Oracle is currently running on. So that is going to help you out in understanding whether any upgrade is pending or not. Correct. So let's say if it is currently in 26B, correct. We are already sitting in the month of August, which is lying here. So 26C should be in line, right? But it is not being done. Then we can make sure, looking into the version, that it is something which needs to be done as a part of the upgrade. Who's going to manage those upgrades and all? Oracle itself manages, right, as per the particular schedule which they share with the admin team, right? So generally we don't need anything here, but we should be having an understanding of that what quarterly upgrade policies are. So hope this is clear. 26C is clear. Okay, so this is something everyone knows that, right? But what about 11, 13, 26, 07 and all, right? So that is also something to understand. So 11 means year 2011 in which the first release was done. 13 means in the year 2017. So initially when this product was created and all, right? So at that point of time, various bugs were identified, those were fixed and all. So in the year 2017, when this release 13 was introduced, at that point of time, what happened is this became a static version. So almost majority of the bugs has been identified, those has been sorted out, and in the year 2017, the product was made here as cloud product means, and it will be 100%. It will be available on cloud. Right before it was on-premises and cloud, both options was there, but then it was later on changed to only cloud. So that happened in the year 2013. In the year 2017 under release 13. So release 13 was considered as a static release. From there, it became a fully cloud product and all. So that is where you'll always see against each of the release 11, 13 are the fixed values. Okay. Then we have 26 represents year, which current year 2026, in which month the upgrade took place. So 07 means July, right? So in the 7th month, the upgrade took place as we are in the 3rd quarter, and .0 means this is the first version of the upgrade. Normally, you have only one quarterly upgrade, so you always see a .0 here. But by any chance, previously it was there, nowadays it doesn't happen. If any quarterly upgrade is done and then some out of the box bugs are identified which are very critical, then sometimes Oracle may also bring more than one upgrade in a quarter. Right? Nowadays it doesn't happen because everything is pre-planned and all and very well tested and all. So previously it used to happen. So sometimes more than one quarterly upgrade was happening. Then in that case, if it is more than one, then it will be 0.7.0.1.2 and so on. Correct. So nowadays you'll find one is there. So 0.7.0. Then October, November, December, if it is 10.0, January, then it's 1.0. That way, there's information. Right. So by this way, you can 100% understand what exactly this overall version information is all about. Always do perform a check. Always try to make business also understand, like, look exactly what exactly the information means, right? It is critical information. Looking into this one only, we identify that which version the application is running on. Okay, this is one thing that we should always be focusing on. Now, the second thing here is this one, set preferences. Okay, so set preferences also one of the important piece of information. So if you open this one, so here you can change the password if you want to change the password from here. Other option which is applicable for now is this one, which is regional. Okay, so when you open the regional, now this product was developed as in the US, right? So by default, you see the territory is US. Now, if you're working in any other territory, let's say I'm working in India, so I can fix it to India. Date format, how I want the dates to be reflected in the system. So whenever I'm going to run any program or whenever I'm going to perform any transaction where the date parameters are there, so date will be looking into this particular format. This is the default format. I can change it to as per my requirements. You see here the format is the sample date is available here. Okay, so for example, I want this way. That should be DMMMYYY, right? So if that is something I'm looking for, then I can choose to have this. Is it going to impact all other user accounts? No. Each and every user can set his or her own preferences. This is only going to have an impact on my user account. Second is time format. How you want time to be looking into the application when you are going to run some process, when you are going to working on this application. So wherever the time option is available, how it should look like in which format. 12 hour, 24 hour, right? Multiple options are there. So you can have as per your requirement, AM, PM also 12 hours or just 24 hours format you can have. So you also can have hours, minutes, and seconds. So available. So whatever is suitable for you, that you can choose. Normally, what we do, one is whatever is suitable to you. Normally, on the very first day, we also ask this to the business that what is your set of default information that you would like to have, right? So that is also something we can set. And then user, they may have their own preferences here. Why user may have own preferences? This is a cloud-based product, right? Maybe the case I'm doing a remote working, I'm executing my project in US, I'm sitting here in India and executing that. So I'll be having this India related parameters in terms of dates and all, right? Someone who's sitting in US will be having those parameters, right? So it's not going to impact my transaction, but only going to impact the data, how it is going to look like in the application. Okay. Then we have number format, right? So one of the key number format is used in some of the countries instead of comma, it is that way, right? Exponential mark here, right? So the decimal is by comma, right? So depending on which country you're implementing and what is the format of number being used, you can have it that way. Then default currency. Now, this is default currency. It is doesn't mean that all my transactions are going to be in INR. It means that whenever I'm going to receive any notifications for any transactions, so by default, the notifications are going to be in INR. Let's say it is also going to show the data in INR, right? So that is what it means. But generally, what we do here is, if I'm working for a US-based company and all the transactions are in USD, I can change it to USD also by default. That whether I'm sitting in India, but I want that should all the notifications, everything within the application where there's some amounts are involved. So the currency sign should be USD, right? If I'm working for a US based project, if I'm working on any other project, Middle East or any other, then accordingly I can choose the currency sign. Then time zone, what time zone you want to follow here? So as of now, it is the US time zone. I can choose 5 plus 5:30 is our time zone. Yeah, so I can choose that, which means that when I'm accessing the application, system is going to use this time zone to understand that what exactly the time at my place is, right? So some very basic things. If you don't do it also, that is fine. But generally, it is recommended to do that way. Because sometimes what happens when you're running some process, the time is showing something else, then you get confused that I've run it right now. Why it is showing something different? So because of these features only, it is showing, right? Maybe sometimes the amount is not coming in the correct format and all. So this is where you can manage all those things from here. Okay. So I'll save and close this one, and that I have set up the initial preferences for my user account, right? So initial preferences done. I have seen what about the application, what is the current version and all. Now I need the access of setup and maintenance. Setup and maintenance means this is my admin account, right? So this means this particular page from where I can look into the configuration related aspect, right? So these are the places where I can perform the testing, perform various business processes. But too early for that. First, I need to do the configuration. I need to understand what is the configuration elements and all. Do the configuration. Then we'll reach out to this one, which is testing, right? So in order to have the access of setup and maintenance, one thing which is required is a role, right? So I need a role. And what is that role? Let me go to the security console from here and assign to this user account Abhishek.Kumar the relevant. So if I go to the user, now this page of security console also has a role, right? So let me write it here. I'm just searching for the user account. It is here. Open this user account from here. And click on edit. As of now, it doesn't have any roles. So click on edit and click on add role. Now, the role which is required to access the setup and maintenance is called as application implementation consultant. So this is the word, application implementation consultant. You see, there are multiple roles in the same name, application implementation consultant. Name are same, but you see the ports are different. Okay. So there are two types of roles that we can have here. In general, we'll be having only one whenever it's a new application. One is the seeded roles. Seeded roles means those are predefined. Other one is you can also create your own roles. Roles are going to make sure what kind of privileges you'll be having to access the application. Correct. So all the seeded roles in the application will start with this prefix ORA. It means it's an Oracle defined role. And we are going to focus only on the predefined role. We don't know what exactly the privileges are there in this code, but we know that seeded roles will give me the access of setup and maintenance. So I'm going to select that one, right? So application implementation consultant and add role to membership. That is done. Now, in addition to this, right? If I need means if this user account, which is Abhishek Kumar, doesn't have security console access. If I need security console access also, so that going forward I can manage my own roles and I can manage from my side the user accounts and all. So another role is there, which is called IT security manager, right? So this is again Oracle seeded role we'll use here and add to role. Okay, so two roles I have added. One to have the access of setup and maintenance, which is this one. One to have the access of the security console, which is this one. Correct. Once that is done, I'll save and close here. Okay, and click on that. Now, once the role has been assigned to this user account, should be reflecting here in this user account, right? Answer is yes. But for getting the updated page here, what I need to do, I need to do a quick sign out and sign in again so that the updated roles can be reflected here on my screen. Okay. Now, normally it doesn't take much time. It may, but it should take some few seconds only. But sometimes it may take some more time. Yes, like maybe on a high side, maybe a minute it will take to reflect the rows. Generally, in the demo instance, it may take a bit longer time, but when it comes to the actual business related applications, so those are quite fast in terms of performance. So when you assign the roles, quickly sign out and sign in, and it will be reflected there. Right? So we'll try to look into that part. So let me do that. Right? Let me try to sign out here, sign in here. Okay, so now I have the required roles. So I have multiple access here. So let me check if I have the security console access. Yes, I do have security console access. And here, do I have setup and maintenance? Yes, I have multiple access, including setup and maintenance. I'm not focusing on any of these as of my focus is here on setup and maintenance part because this is from where our activities are going to start, right? So setup and maintenance, this is how the task will look like. Okay. Now, how to use this, how to perform setups, what are the key setups that are involved, where we are going to start with, right? So directly we are not going to jump on the doing the setup. Basic navigation we have done. First, let's discuss what exactly we are doing, right? So what we are going to do next is we are going to have a discussion on the project phases, right? So I have reached out to a stage where I've been assigned to the user account, the relevant roles I have, and how I'm going to start, right? So that is where I need to understand what is the next set of activities which are going to be in line if I'm doing a project implementation, right? So that is where we are going to discuss the project phases, and from there we are going to start the discussion around the solution building, that what configurations are required, how we're going to manage that. Also, meanwhile, let me give you a quick overview. So we have something called configuration workbooks. These are something which we are going to use for all kinds of configuration. These configuration workbooks are in line with the actual project implementation. It's not designed only for the training purpose. This is what we use the project implementation as well. So what it contains step by step, it contains the name of the task that we need to configure, right? All tasks are available here one by one. We have to perform this particular sequence. And going forward also, we need not to worry that how I'm going to do the setup, how what is the sequence. Always use the configuration workbooks. And once you have the hands-on practice, you'll be able to recall that was the next task line that I need to do. Right. Each of the tasks named here, which is available here. So the detail of the task, right? So you see, these are the fields which you'll be able to see in the application, and these are the configuration data we are going to. Some sample data is there, but we are going to do the data as per our convenience. Also, what you can do is when you are going to do your configuration, you can update this data as per your configuration here, and you can use it, right? So project to project, what we do, the business specific configuration, we replace this data with the business specific configuration. The field names are going to remain the same because these are the configuration which are right? So we'll discuss all this concept one by one. What is chart of accounts, what is value set, what is accounting method, what is currencies and all, and one by one we'll perform this task to do the general ledger configuration. But rightly, let's not jump into the configuration. Let's understand the concept first. That as a what all activities I need to perform and what is going to be the sequence of these activities. Okay. So, are you going to get this access of this documents and all? Yes, as an applicable, it will be shared, right? So, what admin team will be doing now, team? They will be based on your enrollment completion, right? So please make sure your enrollments are completed by anyhow by today, right? And once it is done, the admin team will be creating an official WhatsApp group, and then you'll be enrolled to that WhatsApp group. All kind of the communication related to this training program will be done through that WhatsApp group, right? So make sure you have already completed your enrollment because going forward from tomorrow, we'll be having the regular classes, and then as a part of the regular classes, we start with the regular topics that we are going to configure, right? And even the new updated link will be shared by the admin to do so that you'll be able to check from that way. So, only on the basis of enrollments only it will be done. So make sure that you have the updated link as a part of the process. Okay. All right. So I'll go through some questions here. If we have any questions, yes. So, sir, do we have any background process for the rules to take the effect from users? Do we have any background process for the rules to take effect for the users? Previously, yes, it was there. There was we need to run some process and all, but nowadays it is not required, right? If you see, I have just assigned the roles and then I have just did a quick sign out and sign in, and the role was effective. Previously, there was some process that need to run that and all. Correct? Nowadays, not. But we will also see those things, right?